This ain't just a channel, this is BBTV.
Truth is simple until it isn't. Families look calm on the inside or on the surface, but underneath are secrets, loyalties, and lines nobody agrees on. Today, we sit in that tension. One story, just one question. Is protection love or deception? This is Truthful Tuesday on BBTV. Let's tell the truth slowly.
It's Truthful Tuesday. No sugarcoating, no polite lies, just the kind of honesty that makes people nod slowly and rethink their life decisions. Let's talk about it. It's
Boss be rising, BBTV's igniting. Turn the volume up, yeah, the whole world's invited. From the gravel road to the neon dream, she built an empire out of broken wings. Boss be rising, sky ain't even the ceiling. When she hits go live, everybody feels it.
Yo, I just danced to that song. I just love it. Anyway, welcome back to Ask a Bee. It's noon, so we're doing what we always do here. We're slowing the room down before the day pulls us in 10 directions at once. This isn't a hot take show. It's not a reaction reel, and it's definitely not about speed. This is where we sit with people's real lives, messy edges and all, and actually think out loud together. If you're new here, this space is built for nuance, not snap judgments. We don't do sound bites over humans, okay? We don't flatten complicated stories into good guy, bad guy. We look at context, patterns, what's underneath, people's reactions. Reactions to me are everything. Sometimes that means uncomfortable truths, but sometimes it means empathy for everyone involved. Most of the time, it means holding both at once. Today, we've got two stories, and they are, well, different on the surface. I'm sorry, one story. One story with an update is what I'm meaning to say. And it's two different contrasts is what I'm trying to say. The update is a different contrast from the actual story. But they're both tied together, obviously, by the same theme. Now, her travels inside families. One part of the story is, about secrecy turned into, well, it could have been a lot of stuff, and I'm telling you, it's hard when you have truths that you're not supposed to tell, or you don't know if you're supposed to tell, or maybe you just really do need to tell those truths. It's hard to carry something with you for so long. It's hard to know if you're doing the right thing. It truly is. But sometimes the right thing, it's going to hurt. So you get scared and you don't want to talk about it. But the truth is, withholding the truth can hurt way more than anything else, way more than actually telling the truth. I've heard Big Jack say before things like, when somebody, you got something on your nose, you don't just walk by and not say anything. You tell that person because that's the right thing to do. And that's what we're about here. You do the right thing. And we're not going to judge, but we're going to decide for ourselves what we might have done in the same situation. So we'll get started with the first one. Now, remember, I have a few people that I model from. I'm not trying to copy anybody, but I love some of the things that they do. We have Charlotte Dabra. She is, oh my gosh, she's amazing. She's so funny. And there's no way I could ever be her, but I love watching her and I love her style. She does the AITA, but she does it mostly for male and female relationships, significant others, things like that. Personally, I just want to hit all those scopes. So I also watch someone called Dustin Pointer, and he's the flag guy if you don't know him any other way. He is so fun. He is so fun. And I love that he has red flag, green flags, right? Amazing. That's so fun. So I've kind of adopted that in a way, and I hope he doesn't think I'm trying to copy because there's no way I could. He's amazing. But I have my red flag, green flag, so to speak, and that is a stinger, which is obvious, or honey, because that's what we do here at BBTV. We incorporate our honeybees. I know it's silly, but y'all forgive me because I'm having fun with AITA, okay? I'm having a lot of fun. There's a lot of good stories out there, and your emails are getting sparse. I mean, maybe it's because I haven't mentioned them here lately, but you could send me one. That would be really great. I'd appreciate you forever. Thank you. Okay, so Truthful Tuesday, right? We're going to start this one out right away because it's a long one. I'm going to tell you right away, there's 2 updates to this one, and I did get this from Reddit. These people are amazing, and I love reading their stories. It's transformed plenty, so there's my disclaimer. There should not be any issues, just saying that. Now, there are 2 updates to this, one teeny tiny one that I've kind of added to the last one, but we're going to do this in 2 halves because this story is that long and it deserves this much attention. So let's start with this one. Yes, 101. Am I the a-hole for letting my brother call me dad and refusing to tell him the ugly truth? So says, I'm well aware that this story sounds extremely hard to believe and fake. I'm aware that there will be many shoot posts, comments below. So sorry, but this story is 100% true. And it is a hot topic for discussion in my family at the moment. Okay. So we're not going to be able to see this very well. Hold on. I've got all kinds of hi. How are you? Hi. Can we maybe not spam the room though? Because maybe somebody else wants to say hi. But hi, very nice to meet you. Is it Kai? K-E-I, Kai? I hope I said that right. Thank you for being here. So what I want to say about this first little excerpt that I've pulled out there. The very first line of this post sets the tone, right? The writer opens by saying, I know this sounds fake, and I know people are going to call this, okay, I'll stop, or do you want me to leave the live stream? You do not have to leave. Absolutely not. Just hi. I see you. Okay. I see you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I really do. You don't have to leave. So I know people are going to call this a shoot post. And yes, I'm using a different word, obviously, but I swear it's real. Right away, you can feel the tension. Okay, so we know this already. I am 7, but can I still stay? Probably you shouldn't. But if you're 7, you probably wouldn't be able to get over here on your YouTube. So I'd say that's a parent problem, and you might want to go call him, because I don't think that this is a show for you, because it's clearly stated that it's not a show for kids. Okay? I appreciate you being here. I really do, but you might want to go elsewhere because it's really not for you. And I'm not going to get in trouble for allowing you to stay. So yeah, if you're 7, if you're really 7, you might want to go somewhere else. But I appreciate you trying. Thank you. So they're already on defense, right? Before they even tell us what happened, which usually means this isn't just gossip. It's something that has split a family. Yeah, but you're lonely. You need a lot. Because there's nobody in my chat. I understand that. But let me tell you, I am on Facebook right now. I'm also on YouTube. I'm also on Twitch. So what may look like an empty chat room really isn't. But I really, really appreciate that thought. That's very kind of you. And if I mean, I'm not saying that you have to go, but I'm not saying that you should stay either, because if you really are 7 years old, you might need to go ahead and go to a different chat room, different story because this isn't exactly for a 7-year-old. Okay. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right. Little hot tea there. So when someone has to preface a story like that, it tells you the situation is messy and emotional and probably not going to fit into neat moral boxes. So keep that in mind as we move forward. This isn't about catching someone in a lie. It's about understanding why the truth feels so dangerous to say out loud in the first place. So in this instance, this is context setting, not a red flag yet, at least not for me. Okay, well, as long as your dad's there and he knows what you're doing, I suppose that's okay. But I don't really know that because I can't see you. I appreciate you, though. Still, you're trying pretty hard. And if your dad's there, then I appreciate that too. Maybe he will understand that this is probably not a show for a 7-year-old. Okay? Let dad know that, please. Hi. Okay, I'm going to go on with my show now. I've said hi and I've let dad know that if this is not a show for a 7-year-old, okay? So let's be nice and let me do my show. All right, so to be moving on. Let's see. Here's the next one. So I was born when my parents were both 19, and my only other brother, let's call him Josh, was born when they were 42. They divorced shortly after Josh was introduced to the world. He was 4 months old at the time, and they both wanted nothing to do with the child. At the time, I was 23, and I was living alone with my then girlfriend, who was 21. Now my wife. Very nice. And I'd done my best to convince at least one of them to take care of young Josh for his sake and the family's sake. But they refused adamantly and said that I should be taking custody of him instead. So I became a legal guardian of my brother, and he's been living with us for the past 12 years, and things have been going really smooth for us. Okay, let's talk about this a little bit, because that's a lot already. Here's this where the stories really lands, right? The writer explains that he was born when his parents were just 19, but his little brother Josh arrived much later. When they were 42, okay? Almost immediately after Josh was born, the parents divorced. Really? And shockingly, both of them washed their hands of the baby when he was only 4 months old. At 23, the writer was already living with his girlfriend, and he tried desperately to get at least one parent to step up for Josh's sake and for the family's sake. They refused flat out and told him, basically, you take him. Really? So he became his brother's legal guardian, brought him into his home, and has raised him for 12 years in what he describes as a stable, loving household. Okay. Okay. You know what? For compassion and caretaking, that's not a stinger at all. No. That's, my dear, is honey. Yeah. So, my goodness, there's so many things I want to say to that. I don't even know where to start. This is heavy already, is it not? I mean, y'all just tell me, because, wow. All right, so Josh, now 13, or almost 13, pardon me, has been calling me Dad. Wait a minute. He's been calling you Dad? Okay. And my wife, Mom. And our 2 children, female 4, 9 male, his siblings, as he has absolutely no idea about his real parents, And to be honest, I let all of that slide. He has no idea that I'm really his blood brother and not his father. And I'm starting to feel guilty and a little weird. As well you should, my friend. Okay, this just is my opinion, obviously, but as well you should. So now we get to the heart of this dilemma. Okay, Josh is almost 13, and in every practical sense, he thinks his brother is his dad, and the wife is his mom. He calls their kids his brother and sister. He lives inside that family identity, and crucially, he has no idea who his biological parents are or that the man raising him is actually his older brother. There's a lot of untruth here. So the older brother admits he let all this slide for years because it kept life calm and kept Josh feeling secure. But now that Josh is getting older, the older brother is starting to feel guilty and uneasy about how much truth has been kept from him. How do you, honey, your stinger, y'all? Because first off, you should have told him. I mean, yeah, he's 13, but you should have told him from the very beginning because children are a heck of a lot smarter than you think. But then again, I understand the wanting to protect him. That's his brother, right? That's his brother. That's who he's treated as his own, which is amazing, honey, if you ask me. But the honey is coming with a stinger because it's going to hurt. You know it's going to hurt when they finally tell this child. Hope they tell them. It has to be told. And soon. Really soon, especially if it's making you feel weird. Wow. So, okay, I'm not going to call stinger yet because I'm on the fence on this one. I'll just say that. I'm on the fence on this one. Okay, so some of my uncles and aunts come to visit occasionally. Okay, there's a factor I didn't know about, and they are really disgusted at the fact that he calls me dad, and they are surprised I haven't told him the truth. Disgusted? Okay, where were you? When your siblings, because your aunts and uncles, when your siblings didn't take care of their own child, where were you? Sorry. They constantly messaged me, talk to me in private, and I can not chat to them without this one particular topic rising up. Well, I can understand why, but I mean, I'm sorry. It's a tick I get when it comes to family putting their nose in other people's business, right? It's not your business if you didn't start the problem. Start with the problem with the rest of the family, right? If you can't be there for the beginning, why do you get to be there for the end? You're not the problem solver. You should have been that a long time ago, right? That's me. Badgering me to let him know already, but I refused. Well, I'm happy to hear you refused. That part is good. That part is really good. So the pressure isn't just internal for him, right? It's coming from the wider family. He explains that when his aunts and uncles visit, they're openly uncomfortable with Josh calling him dad. Okay, yet again, like I said, where were you? So they pull him aside, text him, and bring it up every single time, insisting that he needs to tell Josh the truth already. Okay, I get that part. But where have you been? Okay, I'm going to sit on that. I'm going to sit on that. Where have you been? Where have you been? Look, where have you been? Here it comes. Where have you been? Oh my gosh. So these conversations are constant and exhausting, and he can't interact with them without being badgered about it. Still, he's held his ground and refused because in his mind, he's been prioritizing Josh's emotional safety over everyone else's opinion. That's where that stinger came in. Let me tell you, you know what? That one, it deserves much worse. That's the double stinger. That's what I'm calling that one. Frightening, isn't it? I discussed this with my, hold on, and interference. Right. Okay. So, I'm just, okay. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. And I think I've gone to the wrong one. Hold up. Pardon me. Yeah, I missed the last part. Anyway, I discussed this with my wife, and she thought it would be wrong to tell him the truth because none of my parents wanted to take care of him, and I'm the only person in the world who gave him the father figure everyone deserves. Agreed. Agreed. Well, wholeheartedly agreed. Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm saying. Where were they? Where were they? So he talks this through with his wife, and they land in a very emotional place together. She basically says that telling Josh the blunt biological truth feels wrong because the real issue isn't genetics, it's abandonment. Both of their parents walked away when Josh was a baby. The older brother is the only person who actually stepped up, stayed, and acted like a parent. In her view, he hasn't just played the role of a father, he has been Josh's father in every way that matters. And she doesn't want to undermine that bond by dropping a harsh truth that could make Josh feel unwanted all over again. Y'all, I didn't think I was going to like this chick, but I do. She gets the honey. Yeah. Protection, loyalty, and emotional care. I feel that he has the right to know what he is. Oh, pardon me. I forgot to pull up my other thing. Y'all, I'm going to have to get used to this stuff. So I feel that he has the right to know what he is to me and what I truly am to him. But he's suffered enough already, and I just want things to continue how it is. Reddit. Am I the a-hole? Would I be the a-hole if I let him know the truth? Oh, how do you answer that, really? So he lands right in the moral gray zone here. One hand, he says plainly that Josh has a right to know who he really is and what their relationship truly is in biological terms. On the other hand, he knows how much abandonment Josh has already lived through, and he desperately wants to protect the life they've built together. He's basically torn between honesty and stability, which is why he turns to Reddit and asks two questions at once. Am I the a-hole for letting this continue? And would I be the a-hole if I finally told him the truth? That one's hard. That one's real hard. I'm not even sure where to go with that, I really not. Because we're talking about moral tension and conflict, and there's a lot at stake here, right? He could lose his brother indefinitely, or you know what? There's no telling what could happen at this point. It's a harsh reality when you wait too long. And you want to tell the truth from the very get-go. But you consider all of the things that could happen in the process. And that would be, that he gets really ticked off at you, dude. Number one, for not telling him sooner. Or maybe telling him too soon because he is 13 years old. 13 is young and a scary age. I remember 13. It was not a good year for me. Now, I understand this is not my story, but the point being, at 13, things change for a teenager, because that we're talking about just now a teen, right? It's a whole new level in life. And this young man has already stepped into it. And from the sounds of it, he's about to be stepping in a big old pile of poop too. I don't know what I would do in this situation. I think that I wouldn't have let this child call me mom or dad. I think I would have started right there. Just as soon as those words started coming out of that mouth, I would have started there. I think that's only fair. And knowing one thing for 12 years and it changes, I mean, come on, that one thing is pretty big. But knowing that one thing for 12 years, wow. And then turning around and just plop, there you go. Sorry, I lied. I couldn't do that. I would have to start that from the very first time they said dad to me or mom to me, whichever, you know. That's crazy, y'all. All right, we're going to take a little break, and then we're going to come back because there's some updates to this one. Y'all enjoy my song because you know I love it. Be right back.
She came from the quiet storms, built a fire from the ground, turned a whisper to a warning. Now her voice shakes the town. Every setback was a lesson, every doubt became a key, unlocking something bigger. That's the rise of Boss B. When the lights go low, her vision hits high. She built a whole damn network off a promise and a try. Every sunrise, every moment, she's stacking legacy. This ain't just a channel, this is BBTV. Boss B rising, BBTV's igniting. Turn the volume up, yeah, the whole world's invited. From the gravel road to the neon dream, she built an empire out of broken wings. Boss B rising, sky ain't even the ceiling. When she hits go live, everybody feels it. She's the queen of the comeback, the storm in the stream, crafting stories out of heartbeats, making visions out of dreams. Got thunder in the hustle, got a voice that cuts clean. Every mic she touches turns the power unseen. So let brothers spin the numbers, let the views rise slow or fast. Boss B doesn't measure wins by echoes of the past. This moment is a pivot, this season's history. Bow down to the founder of the BBTV dynasty. Boss B rising, BBTV's igniting. Turn the volume up, yeah, the whole world's invited. From the gravel roads to the neon dream, she built an empire out of broken wings. Boss B rising, sky ain't even the ceiling. When she hits go live, everybody feels it. She's got fire in the head, it's got truth in the frame, got a heart that won't retire and a gift you can't name. Every loop, every letter, every dream she sets free, it's a love note to the world sign. Boss B. And the world keeps watching as the numbers climb, but she's counting all the moments, not the dollar signs. From the late night grind to the daylight scene, she's building something bigger than the algorithm's dream. Boss B rising, BBTV shining, her story's rewriting, a legacy in real time. Boss B rising, BBTV's igniting. Turn the volume up, yeah, the whole world's invited. From the gravel roads to the neon dreams, she built an empire out of broken wings. Boss B rising, sky ain't even the ceiling. When she hits go live, everybody feels it. BBTV, where the stories breathe. her take her place. This is BBTV. This is her grace.
Join Boss B for Ask a Bee Monday through Friday, 12 noon Central Standard Time and Jukebox Journey every Saturday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Alrighty, well, for some reason, we got a little freezing going on here. Can't get my stuff to work. Hello. Wow, for real. Okay. Well, I guess we just work and then we stop working on here on. Yeah. Come on. Give me my stuff, would you please? Really? StreamYard? For real? I don't even get it. See? You get a stinger, StreamYard. Well, okay. I guess we'll just go on with this the way we usually do. However, it works out. That's crazy. Okay. That's all right. Not quite sure what's happening here, but I'm trying to get my other stuff working, and it ain't working. I don't know why. Okay, so here we go. So, wow, and it started everything over again. Not sure why. I'm sorry, give me just 1 second here. I don't even know why it's doing this mess. Yep. My notes here. So, where did the update go? Let's see. Here it is. Let's take that part out. I know. I'm like dead air here, and it never happens, but I'm going to fix it. Just crazy. One time it works, next time it don't. So, okay. Here's the first update. Let me just put that out there. I think it's this one. Yes, update. About 70% of the comments are advising me to tell my son who I really am to him. And some are saying sooner than later. I agree. I've just got up to discuss this with my wife. And now after a lot of hesitation, we've decided that it's best the truth comes from us and it has to come now, right now. Amen. Thank you. So it's late for us, but we shall address this to him first thing this week or even tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Okay, that's a good update. I'm good with this update, right? So in the first update here, because there is another one, the tone shifts, I think. He says about 70% of commenters urged him to tell Josh the truth, and many pushed for sooner rather than later. I think I agree with that wholeheartedly. So after sitting with that feedback, he and his wife had a late night conversation, and despite their hesitation, they decided the truth has to come from them. Great. That's great, right? They don't have a script yet, but they commit to addressing it with Josh at the very start of the week, maybe even the next morning, because waiting any longer feels wrong, right? Right? Yeah. Turning point, urgency, real world consequences. That would get a stinger for me, but only because they've waited so long, right? Why did they wait so long? That bothers me. That bothers me a great deal because, come on, he should have known already, right? I think everybody can agree on that one. Anyway, so we have another update, which is really good too. Hey guys, so many people wanted me to update on my previous post and wanted me to seek professional advice first before I take matters into my own hands. Okay, not a bad thing. Apologies if it is long. I'll try to make it as detailed as possible while making this short. Okay. It's not going to be short. Let me just get that out there. Okay. Here comes the next update, though. And you can tell the pressure is heavier now. Okay. He opens by saying a lot of people asked him to come back with an update and urged him to get professional advice before he tells Josh anything. Perfect. Perfect. Yes. 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 He apologized in advance for the length, but you know what? He says he's going to try to be detailed. That is all honey to me. I want to hear it all. That's usually a sign too that the situation didn't resolve cleanly, but it did evolve. Okay. And he's about to walk us through what happened after the internet weighed in. Y'all, it's okay. Calm reset. We've got some accountability to believe in here. And you know what? Setting context before the next. Let me just do this. It is definitely honey. Okay, here we go. 1, 2. There we go. Yes. So, context before the next reveal, right? Okay. I went to my local therapist and told him about my situation and asked what to do. To keep it short, he said he's heard similar recounts from before and said it is best if I tell him as soon as possible for multiple reasons and to make sure that my bio children are present for multiple reasons. I asked a few of my closest friends, and the majority said more or less the same thing. So, okay. In this part, he takes the situation out of Reddit into the real world, right? He meets with the therapist, explains everything, and the therapist tells him he's seen these cases before, like many times, and that is better to tell Josh sooner rather than later. The therapist also recommends having his own biological children present, which to me is the absolute perfect situation. So when the conversation happens, not as spectators, but as emotional context for Josh, he then gets to check in with a few close friends. And that's smart. Okay. Yes, you want professional, but come on, you got friends that can tell you too. Okay. Most of them land on the same place in this situation. And I think we do too, right? Honesty now, not later. Definitely some honey right there. Definitely. Okay. So, here. Now, my wife and I decided to sit the kids down and burst the big bubble. Here we go, y'all. I asked my brother, Josh, to come closer, and I made sure I held him close and to make him feel comfortable. He asked, "What's going on?" I mean, I would too, wouldn't you? Yeah. But I started by telling us how much we cared and loved for him. Then told him everything about my parents. I put them in a bright light in hopes of reunion and who I am to him. Then I quickly hugged him and my other 2 kids together. Stop. Time out. Stop. Let me just say this, big brother, you are a better person than me because I would not have said that about the parents. But yes, you're right to do that. Okay. I know y'all might be feeling the same way, but it's the right thing to do. And you did very good. I just want to put that out there right away. Okay. I told him that I love all my children the same and nothing is going to change my love for him. That is positive. That's amazing. That's great. And, so they actually do this. He and his wife sit down with 3 kids all together and talk about this. Josh is pulled in close. They reassure. He tells Josh plainly how much they love him and how much he belongs in their family, then explains who their parents really are. And that biologically, he is Josh's brother, not his father. He says he tried to frame the parents in a hopeful light so that Josh wouldn't feel discarded. That the moment the truth was out, he wrapped Josh up in a hug with the other two kids and made it clear, nothing's changing. And that's amazing. That's wonderful. I mean, you get honey for that, honey for protection, honey for belonging and emotional safety. He was shocked and asked if I was joking. That's the next part. Oh my gosh, I lost it. Here it is, I think. So he was shocked and asked if I was joking, but I was starting to cry a little at this point. So he knew I was serious. My bio children were very surprised too. He was in tears and asked me why I didn't tell him sooner. Yeah, this is my point. This is exactly my point. I didn't know what to say and said, I was just trying to protect you. I'm sorry, and I hope you can forgive me. But unfortunately and understandably, he left. Ouch. So this is the moment that hits hardest, I think, because Josh doesn't process it quietly. He's shocked. He asks if it's a joke. I mean, then he realizes it's real. And how are you supposed to feel? I like how the older brother answered or reacted. Reaction is everything, right? The younger brother reacted exactly as he should have, because that's rough. 13 years old. Don't you remember being 13? I mean, we knew everything at 13. You got to remember that mentality. No, we did not know everything at 13, but yes, that's how we felt. And something like that is rough. That is a punch in the gut. So the other two kids, they're stunned as well. Of course they are. Josh breaks down in tears and asks the question that hurts most. Why wasn't he told sooner? The writer can only say, I was trying to protect you. I'm sorry. I hope you can forgive me. While that's the right answer, it's still, it doesn't help. It just doesn't help. It's salt in the wound is what it is. It really is. In that moment, it's just not enough. So, of course, Josh pulls away and leaves the room. He's overwhelmed. He's confused, even though you can see how much love was in that conversation. Okay? Y'all, I'm sorry. That's the real stinger here. That's the stinger here. Emotional rupture, consequences here. Y'all, loss of trust. That is huge loss of trust. There is no other way around that. Okay, so he didn't talk to me much or as much again. Understandably so. I continuously offered him to go out to the park and play a bit of football. He loves that and all his favorite things, but he just outright declined and even got a little angry sometimes for me even talking to him. Breathe. Just breathe. I thought I messed up big time. Well, you kind of did. Until one day, while my wife and two children were out doing shopping and we were alone, he came up to me and he said, I know you're not my real father, but I want to let you know you're the best dad in the whole world. I'm sorry for before. Oh boy, did we need that. I needed that. Did y'all need that? I need it. I need it. I need it. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. There is so much honey in that. There's so much honey in that. Oh. And that's what we do here, right? We turn pollen into honey. Because honey don't go bad. You know it don't go bad. Sorry, the Catahoula it's 45 minutes past. He can't sit a full hour without bugging me. Jump, boy, jump. Get into it. Now get out my way, dude. Don't sit on me. You're too big to be a lap dog. No, I'm not playing with you right now. No. Sorry. It's me time, not you time. I know. I'm playing with my dog again. Okay, so the days after the reveal are painfully awkward. Okay, Josh pulled back. We expect that. Talks less. We expect that. Big Brother's reactions were perfect, I think. You know, and even when Josh got irritated, Big Brother acted accordingly. You know, it's like they're going to get back to the things that he loves, like going to the park or playing football. It's not a permanent situation. The Big Brother thinks he's permanently broken their relationship, but that's not the case. This, in a quiet moment when they're alone at home, Josh coming to him and saying the things that he did, you know, it's devastatingly tender. I know you're not my real father, but you're the best dad in the whole world. I'm sorry for before. In that moment, you can feel the bond shift, and it didn't go backwards. It didn't disappear. It moved from childhood certainty into something more complicated, but still deeply, deeply loving. And that's honey for repair and connection and earned trust. Absolutely earned trust. We're not done though. So I hugged him and things got pretty emotional. It would be a big lie to say my house is normal now. Far from it. But things are slowly, ever so slowly, starting to brighten up. There's no longer anything to hide anymore, and it feels like we're born again. You are, my friend, you are. Stop. You are. I mean, there's no other, that's the best way to put it. And that hug right there was baptism. That was, they hug. The emotion of everything finally lands in the right spot in the room. He admits their house is far, far from normal now. It's awkward, tender, and unsettled, but it's also lighter. With the truth out in the open, nothing is being hidden anymore. And even though the healing is slow, he describes it as feeling almost like a rebirth for their family. And it is. It isn't perfect, but it's honest. And that honesty is what's starting to let the sunlight back in. So, I mean, absolutely. Oh, you know, honey. Seriously. Reconciliation, honesty, and gradual healing, baby. Yes. That is amazing. That is just amazing to me. One more. Just one little last entry here. Josh is a tough kid, and he handled this far better than I believed he would. I'll be looking into therapy for him to help him recover, just in case it doesn't go well in the long run. I'll strive and continue to be a great dad to my kids and a great dad to my brother or son. Thank you, Reddit, for pushing me towards this happy ending. Thank you for all the advice and judgments I got, excluding the rude ones about my uncles and aunts, which might have been mine, probably not. But I love you all. Good night. Okay. See? See? I'm thankful for this story and I'm thankful that you put it out there. Okay. I'm going to put that out there right away. So he's closed all of this with gratitude and resolve, right? He says Josh turned out to be tougher than he expected, but that doesn't mean he's leaving things to chance. He plans to look into therapy to make sure that Josh has support for whatever surfaces later. Come on, that's honey in itself, right? That is amazing honey. That is like the purest of honeys. So he commits again to being a great dad to all three of his kids, including his brother's son. And thanks Reddit for pushing him towards honesty. I love Reddit. I read it all the time. Y'all need to get over there because there's some really good stories and I love sharing them with you. So get back here often. You know, he even jokes a little about ignoring the rude comments about his aunts and uncles, you know, because I know I put some out there too. But he signs off with love and ends the story believing that truth, though painful, ultimately led them to a happier ending. I have to do it. I just have to do it. Healing, accountability, and some steady love, y'all. That's amazing. It is such a good story. I can't think of a better story, and I'm so happy I found this story. This is what I want Truthful Tuesday to be about. I think this, man, that made my day. What do y'all think? Y'all need to put it in the comments, in the chat. Nobody talks. And I'm hoping that's because you're loving the story. So today wasn't really about picking a villain, right? Or crowning a hero. It was about watching what truth actually does inside a family, how it can wound, how it can heal, and how love sometimes has to get uncomfortable before it gets stronger. This story reminds us that honesty isn't a weapon and it isn't a performance, it's practice. And like every practice, it looks messy and slow and deeply human in real time. Look, Josh didn't get a fairy tale. Okay, he got reality. And what held was not biology, but belonging. That's the kind of truth that we sit with on Tuesdays. Not loud, not rushed, just real. As we close this chapter, thank you for showing up, listening carefully, and letting the conversation breathe with me. We're going to slide from this into our tuber chat moment where we celebrate creators doing their thing. And let me tell you, they do their thing over there. They're amazing. And just like this universe, the iron sharpening iron universe, we are all about growing together. And I want y'all to get over there and pay some attention to all the amazing things that's going on there and in our iron sharpening iron universe. So we've also got Vivi with a quick note about what she's building for our community. Yeah, she's me, but we're we. Stay with me for just a minute. This is definitely been really good. Okay. Watch them. Don't take off, but I am going to close out with it. So maybe if I can get to them. Aha. And it's not letting me get to them. Of course, it's not letting me get to them. Why would it let me get to them? I don't know why it's doing this. It's not letting me. That's okay. All right. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just going to end it here. I can't get to my stuff. I have no clue why. That's pretty dumb. It should be here. I may have to just do it this way. I think I can do it this way. Yep. We're going to do it this way because I can do it this way because I'm good like this. Bye, y'all.
Roll on. I want to take a second to shout out Tuber Chat, because once again they showed up and held space the way real community does. This channel isn't about noise or numbers chasing, it's about consistency, respect, and actually supporting creators without strings attached. That matters more than people realize. If you're looking for a place that lifts voices instead of talking over them, Tuber Chat is that lane. I appreciate the time, the encouragement, and the steady presence more than I can properly wrap into words. So much love to the Tuber Chat crew for doing what you do and doing it the right way.
Boss B.